Hello. I first thought that I'm cleaning up my tables before I start the broadcast, but I didn't have time for it because there were so many juicy hypers running and I just gotta take them, so I was greedy and I got no break before starting this session, and I'm beginning by playing a lot of these hypers before we start. So we are going to have a lot of 4500 fpp and 1500 fpp hypers here, but the average length of them is about 2 minutes, so there shouldn't be too much of them. Seagull Steven, I got the $11 satellite bonus as well as the Sunday 8 $55 satellite bonus, but I did the Sunday 8 code first and after that I did the Million 8 code. And actually there's a lot of interesting strategy in these kind of hypers that we are playing, the hyper satellites, and we have had a very interesting coaching in Finnish about this. And one interesting thing to note, when we had a three-way pot there and we were in a big blind, if we are in a big blind and 5 guys before us shove, we can't call with aces, because it's more probable that we will get a ticket by all of the other guys eliminating each other than getting a ticket from winning with aces. And here it was an interesting situation because he should have called with pretty much everything, and the optimal way for us to play there, because there is one very small stack and 2 big stacks, would be to check it down. And at least on some of these games, at least on the 235s to Sunday Storm, you shouldn't presume that the other guys are understanding how big the bubble is in these games. But in the $1,500 game, 1,500 FPP games, I'm more apt to shoving pretty much on those spots, because I think that people are going to fold more correctly. And of course there are a lot of great spots for, if here would be antes on, I would probably be calling that queen 9, but without antes it's going to be really thin. And I'm having like, I don't know how many satellites I'm having on my stack there, because I like registered to every nice satellite there is. So, and I think we got a ticket there or something. And because it was a 1500 VPP or FPP hyper, I got a 4500 FPPs from it, because I'm already registered to the target tournament, so it awards me FPPs. So that's a kind of a good top tip to take advantage of these FPP hypers, that you can do it and you can get something useful from them. And you shouldn't be afraid. With ace-10 suited it's going to be, because the opener is from UTG, ace-10 suited is going to be unprofitable to shove. But I think I got another report from our member that the Sunday 8 bonus code doesn't work anymore, so I think it's only because the bonus code is already expired, so it was a really quick bonus. And it was great that at least 5 of our members got the $55 ticket, and that's always great when we can get some better bonuses. And as Corpistory said, there is huge value today in these satellites, and you really should be playing. Satellites are also nice because the variance is a lot less than in normal MTTs. And variance is a lot less than normal MTTs because in these games you don't need to get to the final table so that you'll get nice cash, because everyone gets the same, pretty much the same cash. You are getting the tournament ticket or you are getting a decent cash, but there is like no in between. So these are really nice games, and also because in the bubble there are huge ICM implications and people are making huge mistakes in those situations that you should be aware of. And this is actually this is going to be even better. There is a satellite, and against unknown I'm going pretty much all in, and I'm going to mark Coimbra as a reg because he has been doing pretty well there, so, and he hasn't been doing any stupid stuff. I'm not usually marking the PokerStars Online Pros or PokerStars Pros as regs because I have seen some horrible mistakes of some of those PokerStars Pros make. So that's going to also be one tip. But there are satellites that you saw, at least a flash on the satellites there. And what did you see on the flash was that is in here we got a bet bringer who has shoved every hand, pretty much every hand thus far. And now we'll see if he's going to be rebuying. Nope. But in these rebuys we are going to get even more additional value because people are going to be maniacs. It's going to be a profitable call for us with ace-3 suited. Off-suited I wouldn't be calling it, but we are getting so much more equity with the flush, and our equity is easier to take advantage of because we know where we are on the flop more often. And here I'm going to fold 3-2 suited, and I'm going to be really apt to fold because if I'm folding I'm getting the rebuy instantly afterwards. And we are going to do some taking accounting after this start is just gone, because I had a hectic start here. You can probably see that I pretty much got out of the boat, got back to Estonia and started this set, and because there were so good deposit bonuses on PokerStars, Dayah isn't going to be joining our session instantly, but Dayah will be here later on. I'm going to shove this 8-9 suited because it's going to play nicely against these two guys, and Coimbra is a reg that hasn't been making any stupid moves, so I think that he's going to be folding correctly there most of the time. If Shuvi calls and Coimbra calls, we are going to just call, and if Coimbra shoves, we need to fold even a hand as good as ace-10 suited, because we are having huge ICM implications, even though he can be shoving pretty much, I think, close to 30-40% of his hands. And this is actually another top tip that's going to make you money. When there is something special going on PokerStars, if you have the bankroll, play satellites, because the satellites, the quality of play is even worse than normal, and you can make decent money from turbo sets, hyper turbo sets. If you know how they play, you know how to play big antes, and that's going to be really important. And here are a mix of games. There are satellites mixed in with Sunday Storm, and I'm going to try to take the Sunday Storm out of here. And now we're actually getting an interesting spot in the 6-max satellite, and it's not an MTT. It was just juicy game that I spotted going on, because these FPP hypers, they have also been really good, and I hope you have played those, because I have seen some horrible mistakes on the people playing these. So So it's going to be, if you are having a lot of FPPs, I think that you should, and you are familiar with the structures in these hypers, it's now a really good time to play those. And with 4-5 suited, we are getting such great pot odds. We are needing just about $150 to call to play on a $600 pot, so we are always going to take it. And I'm not going to induce here, because inducing in these 6-max hypers where there are, because if I raise small and this is he is so short as he is, I'm going to need to fold against Shuvik even if Shuvik is shoving wide there. So I'm not going to be doing any stupid mistakes that are going to make my equity go away. And 9 queen, it's a pot odds call, and these are some calls that you just need to make to be profitable in the. And I'm going to take the rebuys out of my huge stack of satellites, and I'm actually going to do a bit of like how many tourneys I go. I just got 6 tourneys running, 15 total, so I think this starts to get manageable, which is going to be quite huge. And the ace king off spot in the hyper, what can Shuvik call there? Actually, I think that would be an interesting spot to mark, so I'll mark it as a discussion item for later, or then I'll post it to the hand analysis section of our forum, because I think that's going to be an interesting spot to talk about, and Shuvik should be really tight there. And as I said that the like satellites are really great, and now we got like the worst table in a satellite ever. We got a four known regs there, which is quite horrible, but well, it got better. And I got rid of my FPPs. I got something like 50k FPPs to start today. Here in a rebuy, this is going to be close because there are antes already. I'm thinking about shoving there because people are so apt to gamble there, so I'm going to induce a lot of gambles there if I'm betting small. But for Shuvik's range is going to be really tight, and that's going to be, and as Callan said, jacks plus, queens plus, something around there. I think that ace king is going to be a fold either way, so that's something interesting. And now I'm just starting to look at the tourneys, because I haven't even looked at the tourneys for today, because I just registered to every satellite that seemed juicy, like all of them. And after that time, I did just start the session early and so I'm not going to be as well prepared as I would hope to for these tourneys or for this coaching session, but we are going to get more well prepared as we go on. And as I said, that we are going to have a theme there about the satellites, because there are just a lot of satellites going on. And we are here going for broke against the reg that opens the button. If he's 4-betting, we are going broke. And hello Virpa, good luck for you as well. And everyone playing the 8 million Sunday million. We wish you the best of luck and hope to see one of our poker manians win. I think we are having quite a lot of players playing today, because it's going to be one of the most interesting tourneys. And I'm going to mainly take satellites to this screen, so because satellites are going to need a lot of concentration that I'm going to be lacking if I'm not concentrating on the satellite situations. And I'm going to be taking some of the tourneys away, and I'm trying to group the turns a bit better. Here with kings, we are giving the guy space to do something stupid, and when there's two aces on the table, there is going to be less likely that they are having the ace, but also if someone is betting two streets in a row and betting them both big, I'm thinking it's going to be a nasty spot anyway. I'm going to be calling it because also a busted flush draw is going to be something that's calling there, or going to be bluffing, and this time we were good, which is always nice. I'm trying to find the bigger 11. And this is going to be slightly horrible because some of the turbos have less time to act, so I might be sitting out on some of these tourneys, because it's going to be... I'm going to discuss about some spot, then I'm making my decision, and there is some other table behind my tables that's going to be out of time to act, so I hope I'm not going to make the stupid of mistakes, but I know that I'm not going to play probably optimally, and I'm going to pay a lot of attention to how many places are paid and how many people are remaining in the games, and that's going to be pretty much the most important situation in these games, because these games are just all about the bubble play and playing correctly at the bubble or close to the bubble. So that's why we need to pay really close attention, and because they are all turbos, the situation is going to change really, really quickly. And there are also huge tournaments, like there are 17,000 players still left. And that's why I'm going to, when they are nearing the bubble, I'm going to be taking them out of the stack. So when did this Sunday Million start? It's not yet even started. It starts in 10 minutes. But all of these satellites are deadline satellites, and deadline satellite means that the satellite is planned to end on the late registration period. And when it's going to be ending on the late registration period, it's going to mean that you can't unreg if you are getting a ticket there. We are going to carry on betting, and we are betting about half the pot. There is a decent side pot, so there is also advantage to us if he's folding and there are not a lot of nice cards coming, and I don't think that he would be flatting many overpairs there. Of course he might have a flush draw, and now that the flush draw came through, even though we are having the ace of clubs, that's going to be lessen the likelihood of him having a flush draw. We are more cautious there, and we are also getting value from his bluff. When the flush draw came through, I would have called bet there anyways, even though it might seem a bit counterintuitive, but I think there is a decent chance for him to be spooing with some hands that are going to be losing to a flush draw as well. And there are a lot of nice discussion pieces going on for today. And now that we are starting with a huge amount of tables, we are going to be focusing on the tables that we have running, but I'm having a lot of nice tournaments coming up, and I think that the nicest tourneys are going to be the mega fields, because there are going to be some really nice mega fields today. And even the hodders and biggers are going to get more traffic and more recreational players playing when they are out of Sunday Million or didn't get the ticket from that they wanted. So I think most games today are going to be, this is going to be one of the softest days to play. And I'm not taking the late night biggers because it's going to be so late, and I have started today quite early, so, and actually this sucks a bit. I think it's going to be awesome that Dayah is joining us, but it sucks a bit because that means that she didn't get a ticket to Sunday Million.
Nope. Unfortunately, I did not. But good evening on my part as well.
So 80s are back.
Yes.
Your hairstyle?
Yes. Do you like it?
Yeah, full on afro.
Yeah, I thought that you might need a bit more luck than usual, and if this doesn't bring it, what does?
Yeah, it's awesome. Here we are going to call King Queen off because he seems reggy, and reggy players are going to be shoving button wide enough, so our call with King Queen off is going to be wildly profitable. And Virpa, is there any sense to play a SAT if you are not rolled for the million itself? I think that today is going to be a good day to play satellites because the ROIs are going to be good. Usually I don't advocate playing satellites, but today it's also going to be that, for example, I'm going to be playing just one Sunday Million, and I'm going to get a lot of tourney bucks, hopefully for the evening. And of course I'm free rolling the $55 and $11 games because they were good games. So there were the free tickets that, and the free tickets also made the tourneys really good. Without antes it's not going to be a profitable shove. So if you are seeing myself making a big mistake by shoving something that's a bit insane, it's most likely going to be because I'm thinking in antes all the time. And when I'm thinking in antes, I'm going to be shove something wider than I should be shoving. Because when there are antes in play, it's going to be more profitable to steal more pots. And I have been actually getting a really good, like, coffee-spirited start for this evening, because I have been talking pretty much all the time and not giving you any chance, even though you joined us.
Well, I just came here, and actually I think for this evening you shouldn't be calling me Dayah. I think it's Miss Foxy for you. And thanks for the comments. And Markus, it's not a new week, it's the week, and it's the only week. I usually don't have one, even though you might have thought that, but this is the one and only, the best. And it a bit seems like I could also call you Miss Click if you didn't get the ticket to Sunday Million from the softest satellites of the year. Well, maybe at this point I should reveal that I went down with ladies on my hand, so...
On both satellites?
I didn't take the other one. I thought that
it's not going to be worth it, just free $11.
$11? Well, you are gonna ship $1 million today, so what's $11 compared to that? Like, really?
Actually, this is way too wide of an open because there are so many short stacks on the table that we need to call.
That's surprisingly wide for you, even for you.
I might get sometimes a bit spooey on the MTT nights because I'm thinking that we are having such huge stacks and we are having such huge opportunities to play pots, but
You didn't consider the blinds?
I was just excited. I'm playing like I'm playing on the other screen, I'm playing tables that I'm having like 100, 200 BB stacks, so I'm a bit too excited for these shorter tables. It's not that easy for me to play all the tables that are going on and are playing completely different to one another. Yeah, I don't like the T9 suited open as well, so... And actually we are having a problem here, there, everywhere. Because we just started something nice. Actually, we can keep it here. Sunday Million started, but we are going to keep it on the other screen until we are getting rid of the satellites. So, and this is going to be something that I need because it's going to be so close to the bubble. And on satellites it's all about bubble play, bubble play, bubble play, bubble play, so you always need to be aware of your bubble situation.
And for Kauris, it's Miss Foxy tonight, or maybe more of an Miss Click as he said, but I prefer Miss Foxy.
And I have something planned for tomorrow at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and if this is going to take 16 hours, it's going to be awesome and we are going to be winning a lot of money, so that's going to be awesome if it goes that far. I actually have a Sunday Million story to tell. I have been asked by a friend on ICM on a Sunday Million day when he got to the final table, and he actually won the tourney after a deal at three-handed and made a decent deal even though I wasn't available at the time.